So folks, after a few false starts, and we've been standing here waiting for the thick end of 2 hours, a wee inopportune maiden voyage of the Queen Anne leaves Liverpool for, I believe, Cork it's going to. So we happen to be here in Liverpool tonight for a Paul Weller concert tomorrow, which is just down there. This big massive cruise ship, absolutely enormous, is leaving dock here in Liverpool. And it doesn't look as though it's moving, but I can assure you it is moving. Because as I said, we've sat here for 2 hours on our balcony in our lovely apartment, waiting on it setting sail. If you look further down the Mersey, you can see there's a kind of in the middle of the river there, that's the ferry, the official ferry across the Mersey. It's obviously brought people onto the cruise ship on their boat tonight so they can see it at a specific time, and they've had to wait there for God knows how long. But this is the Queen Anne now moving from an absolutely stunning night here in Liverpool. Actually, you can see the sunset. Oh my, it's lovely. So my good lady wife Fee gives me the figures here, and apparently the ship can hold 2,990 odd passengers, 1,200 crew, which is enormous, absolutely enormous. And God knows the speed that it does. Don't know anything about that. All I know is that there's a wee bit of steam coming out the chimney there, as you can see. There's no icebergs here, which is pretty decent. You can see a stena line in the distance there. Now normally that stena line in any port would kind of engulf the port, because it's had I don't know how many B&M bargains lorries going on to it in the last 2 hours that we've been sitting here waiting. But that is absolutely minuscule in comparison to this. So I think if you can see there, I don't know whether you can notice, but the ship is now kind of pushed off the side of the, I'm sure my brother-in-law Rob will know exactly what that means when it's pushing off the side of the quay into the kind of a middle of the estuary, if you like. And I'd imagine I heard the captain coming across his radio saying that he was going to do a 180-degree turn and a backflip, and heaven knows all what he's going to do, and then going to head towards Cork. But I would have thought he was going to go forward, but I don't really know that that's going to be the case. But you can see now that where there was ship, there is now water, and it's just pushing out to the side. Now I didn't see anybody smashing a bottle against it or anything like that, so I can only assume that's already been done when it left wherever it was constructed. But it's absolutely enormous. We could see that the balconies are getting further away now from us, but you can see people we've all been there at hotels when the people are in the first class and all that nonsense. They're sitting there with their robes on, waving down at the Humneys. So there you are. And you can hear the music that's playing. I don't know clearly. People have obviously paid money to go on. You could apparently pay 25 quid to go on while it was here, and then you were away for 2 hours or something, and you get beef bourguignon on. You paid extra for the beef bourguignon. I don't know, but it seems to be moving again right in the middle of the estuary. Fantastic to be part of such a spectacle. Apparently it's been up, it's been Leith, it's been Peterheads, it's been South Queensferry and Rosyth and all sorts of stuff like that. So this is its wee official visit to Liverpool. And I heard the guy who obviously runs the whole of Liverpool docks saying there's roughly 180 cruise ships come into Liverpool docks every year, and this will probably not be back for 2 or 3 years. The Queen Anne even, I don't even know who the Queen Mary is, but the Queen Anne won't be here for a couple of years. We'll just take you down there to the stage there. You can see where we're going to go to the concert tomorrow night, and they're obviously doing sound checks and all sorts of stuff for the great Paul Weller coming on tomorrow night. This is a kind of a summer season, and they do it at the Pierhead. So yeah, it's all happening in Liverpool, and yeah, the guy is absolutely right. The captain is saying is exactly what he's saying. He's pushing back, and he's going to do a 180-degree turn. And we, rather than facing and heading down to the left where we thought, he's going to head up to the right, up that way, and allegedly that's towards Cork, an island, so it'll go up there and then round the corner. But I don't know if it comes across on the film, but you can hear Land of Hope and Glory and all sorts of stuff like that. Aye, wonderful. It's incredible, actually, the size. The River Mersey is not the widest river in the world. It's certainly, at this point, is not the widest in the world. And all I'm concerned about is my Domino's pizza that arrived not that long ago. Has gone cold now. And it's in the middle of, despite the fact that it's in the middle of the England-Croatia game, which is now at half time, there's still loads of people down the quayside, kind of waving the ship off and watching this manoeuvre, which there's absolutely no point in trying to compete with that. So yeah, he's absolutely, oof. This is absolutely brilliant to watch, to be fair. Bit of Land of Hope and Glory, as I said. And I think this is kind of probably the captain showing off a wee bit. I don't really know how to sail ships. Again, as I said to you, that's my brother-in-law. But I think this is probably the captain showing off a wee bit. He's now kind of taken over the whole estuary. I'm looking down at the ferry, the Mersey ferry, and there's loads of flashlights going off from the Mersey ferry, and they're obviously watching this going round. And it's like a pivotal point now. It's like kind of a 90 degrees, and it's now spinning round. It's facing right onto our apartment block. Absolutely amazing, you know, really, really incredible. You would never have looked across there and thought this ship could have done that. As I said, if you can see the stern line there, that under normal circumstances would completely and utterly take over this whole estuary. But tonight, it's the Queen Anne that's taken over the whole of Liverpool, really. And around she goes, and we are now 9 minutes into this manoeuvre, which is almost there. And I think around about now, the captain will set sail and go forward. And I think now he's starting to play all the Irish music because of where it's heading. As I said, it's heading to Cork. There's obviously people that have paid for the full maiden voyage, which, as I said, started wherever and then went to Peterhead and Leith and South Queensferry. But that's us. We're nearly right the way round. And strange enough, this side looks the same as the other side did. There he goes. He's moving forward now. And this is probably something that will be in Liverpool folklore for many, many years to come. There's still, I don't know if you can see down there, there's still loads of people waiting at the quayside to wave the ship off. And that's it, turned round. Just heading up that way, up there. What's a beautiful sunset in Liverpool tonight. Almost there, almost straightened up. It was announced as we could hear it from the captain's deck, if you like, that he was going to do this 180-degree turn, but never in a million years would you have thought a ship that big could have done that, just what he's done there. Obviously he was waiting for the certain tides to come in and out and do whatever it needs to do. And that's him. He is, I'm just going to leave the camera here and you can see the ship moving away. And what that does for us is that means that we can see the Mersey now. Well, the best part of today since we arrived we couldn't really see. All we could see was a pile of balconies. Hundreds of them, to be honest. Hundreds of balconies. I've always considered a cruise and it's never really been for me, nor for you, to be quite honest. And having seen the size of this boat and how busy this boat looks, I think I'm pretty comfortable with my original thought of not really being a cruise person. So folks, that's the Queen Anne here in Liverpool on its maiden voyage around the UK shores before it heads for Southampton in the next few days, whereupon it shall sail. And all these normal journeys, I'm pretty sure it'll be fully booked for many months and years to come. But back to watch the football and back for my pizza.